Hello, Elder Hebrew family. This is Mr. Henge coming to you with a new video. This video today is going to focus on a new procedure that will be taking place at the middle school. So if you are a high school parent or student, you may not really need to pay too much attention to this presentation or this video. However, I do want to take a quick minute to let you know that invitations have been sent out for parent-teacher conferences for both middle school and high school. And if you have questions about those times or you need to make some changes, please note that we are able to do some maneuvering, not a lot, but we are able to do some. So if you call the office at 815-648-2442 and talk to Ms. Cazares, she might be able to make some arrangements to switch those things up. The main purpose of my video today is to talk about a new procedure that we are going to be doing in the middle school for hallway passes. It is a new policy that we are going to start on the 19th, which is Thursday, the first day of the second quarter. The reason for this new policy is about two and a half weeks ago, I was up in the hallway in the middle school during the study hall time. Actually, I would think I was passing out some sheets for parent-teacher conferences. And I noticed that we had several students out in the hallway, several students going to the bathroom, several students moving from one class to another class to get help from a teacher, which I think is all fine. But then we also had some students that were hanging out in the hallway for up to 15 minutes or even longer. And immediately I kind of thought, what would happen right now if we had an emergency situation? What would happen if we had a fire here at the school? Or something like along those lines, or a tornado drill, or whatnot. We just kind of had students kind of all over the place. Not to mention the valuable work time, and that it was, I guess, being wasted at that point, in which kids could have been working on homework if they had homework, or we could be using that time to work at or be in classes as well. So a new policy had to be put into, or actually probably more of a procedure than a policy, needed to be put in place in order to make sure that all of our students were going to be safe. So the new procedure that will take place is that students will need to use their assignment notebooks as a pass for anything in which they request. So if they request to use the restroom, they're going to have to use their assignment notebook as a pass. If they request to get a drink, they have to use their assignment notebook to get a pass. In the back of their assignment notebooks, there is a page that says Hall Pass. So the students will fill it out. They'll put the date. They'll put the time left. They'll put where they're going, where they're leaving from, where they're going to. Have the teacher initial it, and then the time returned. So we will fill all that out. This will hopefully hold students a little bit more accountable as far as just kind of hanging out in the hallway for up to 10 to 15 minutes. Now, if it's to clean out a locker or something along those lines, obviously that's going to take longer than just to go get some materials from the class. Also, if a student is needing to get help to do a makeup test, or they're doing a quiz or a retake, teachers will be completing yellow passes or pink passes. I think the new ones we got are pink. So these will be filled out by the teachers. That's so that we don't use up all these for non-student requests. So if the teacher is requesting them to come to their room, it will be on one of these. If the student is requesting to go somewhere, it will be on one of the hall pass things. The other thing I didn't mention that I kind of wanted to talk about, we're hoping that this also encourages students to be taking these to class, so they serve a dual purpose. Number one, so that they can go somewhere if they need to, but also to ensure that they are completing these and filling these out and keeping track of what they have to do for homework, or anything that might be coming up, such as tests or quizzes or projects that might need to be completed. Now, I know that will probably draw up some questions, so I kind of thought about, as a student, what types of questions might I have when this was presented to me. So the first question that came up, what happens if I do not have an assignment notebook? unfortunately, at that point, then you won't be able to go to the requested destination if you are a student. Now, we all know that there are situations in which, we certainly can tell when students have to really, really use the bathroom, and so we get that, we understand that, so we'll work with those particular types of situations. But we are asking that, for the most part, these students bring these, and these are there for them to kind of hold them to being responsible for being able to do those things and go into their lockers. Second question that I thought might come up is, what happens if my student uses up all their passes? So there are 40 of them on here, with about 27 weeks left of school, so a little under 2 a week, but just about 2 a week, just about 2 a week that you can use, not quite. However, we do have extra assignment notebooks that can be purchased in the office for $2. This is actually below cost of what they cost me. I'm not interested in making money on them, but I do have to recoup some of that cost as we use assignment notebooks that can be used year to year. What happens if I refuse to buy an assignment notebook? Well, then you won't be able to go to those requested destinations, only if a teacher provides you with a yellow or a pink pass. Other questions that might be asked: does having my assignment notebook mean I can go when I want? That is not necessarily the case. It's still the teacher's discretion on when that student can go to their locker. I think sometimes students ask at inopportune times. I'm as a teacher myself, I would often have students right when in the middle of we're doing something or completing something, can I go to the bathroom? Can I go to the bathroom? Well, can it wait until we have a good time in class that you can do that? Most of the time that they can, sometimes that they can't, but most of the time they can. So it will be the teacher's discretion on when or when not they can go to the bathroom. If a teacher says no, what happens if I leave anyways if I'm a student? I will receive the consequences outlined in the parent-student handbook. That's an automatic office referral that comes to the office. So the first offense is a 40-minute after-school detention. So they get up and leave a class without permission. That's what happens. The second offense is an alternative to suspension placement, also known as ASP, which is a 3-hour detention. The third offense would be another ASP, and then the fourth offense, and from there it might increase what the punishments would be for leaving class without permission. And that really has to do with the safety thing. The idea of the 40-minute detentions and the ASPs are more of a deterrent from students doing that. If students just walk out without anybody knowing, it certainly becomes a safety issue. Another question that I thought maybe students might come up with is, what about lunchtime? Do I need my assignment notebook to use the restroom? At this time, we're not going to require it in the lunchroom. It hasn't necessarily been a problem or an issue during lunchtime, and so we don't really want them bringing these down, forgetting them, not having them, so they can put them in their lockers or leave them in the classrooms, whatever the situation is best for them when they come down to lunch. So they do not have to have these at that time. Another question that I thought people might come up with, or students might come up with, or maybe even parents yourself: what about coming to the office if my parents are picking me up for a doctor's appointment, dentist appointment, whatever it might be? We ask that you still have a note or you call into the office so that we know that is going to happen, so that we don't have to use a student's assignment notebook for that. Again, we kind of want those to be for student request. And so if they bring us that note in the main office, myself or Ms. Cazares or Mrs. Redden can fill out what we call a blue slip for them. They give that to the teacher. The teacher then knows. It works very similar to one of these passes that we would give to them. So they wouldn't have to use their assignment notebooks for those. Last question might be, when will this begin? As I kind of mentioned earlier, it's at the start of the second quarter, which is October 19th, Thursday, October 19th. We had an assembly about this procedure last week. I believe it was on the October 10th, the day we came back after the 3-day weekend, just to kind of talk to the students about the policy, find your assignment notebooks, get yourself ready for it, start getting used to taking that from class to class so that you have that. And just kind of told them, you have a little over a week to figure this out and to get that into place. So if you have any further questions or something that maybe I didn't answer and what I thought might be some frequently asked questions, please feel free to send me an email. My email is thayunga@alden-hebron.org. Again, I'll spell my name for you so you get it. thayunga@alden-hebron.org. Remember to subscribe to the channel so that you get frequent reminders, and we're posting this on YouTube today. So I hope everybody has a wonderful upcoming weekend, and again, don't forget to contact us if the parent-teacher conferences do not work out. So see you later, and enjoy your evening, and look forward to seeing you at conferences. Thank you.